Morning, we wanted to start out with a tour of the Spann exhibit, which we call Spanning the Globe in Search of Fine Minerals. This first case has 6 large minerals representative of each of the 6 continents. We have a very large pink fluorite from, it happens to be from Pakistan, representing Asia. We have a manganese, a manganite from Germany, representing Europe. A very large amethyst from Mexico that is representative of North America. Then a interesting malachite from the Congo for Africa, an orange gypsum from Australia, and last but not least is a rutile star cluster from Brazil, representing South America. So these are the 6 continents that we've tried to focus on as a center point, and then all of the 53 cases around the exhibit area here we've arranged as if you were starting at one point in the globe, in this case with China on this end, down through Russia, Afghanistan and Pakistan, and on into Europe, and around through to Australia and North America, and ending up on this far side with South America. These last 6 cases are all Brazil, with some interesting odds and ends and other themes kind of mixed in as breakpoints, if you will. There's a case full of smithsonites. There's a case around the corner here that is Gail's mineral art. She's trying to take a hand at competing with you.
That's extremely good that she's getting her.
Oh, she is good at it, and she just sits down and whipped them out. That's something she started and did in about 30 minutes. It's she just has that eye. I've been pushing her to try and get back at that for a long time because she's really quite a good artist. If we might come around to this side, start on this, the barrel case. Talk about this one.
Okay.
We, in the very back, this was our first really serious purchase in our mineral collection that really kind of launched us into going into things. It was a 5-figure rock, and Gail, at that time, we didn't know she was interested in minerals, so when her jaw dropped, decided, let's go to the Houston Museum and it'll show you the really, really good rhodochrosites, and we went to see the Alma Queen from the same mine, the Sweet Home Mine, which is what all of these pieces are from. And while we were in there, she saw some wolfenites and a whole variety of other incredible minerals that it was obvious to me that she too had the passion for minerals. Maybe this was something we could learn and do together, which led to our being a collecting couple. We both started at once. So I put this in mostly for that story and as a backdrop for our most recent truly spectacular acquisition of rhodochrosite happens to be from the Millennium Pocket. We have a cherry red large rhombohedral crystals on a tetrahedrite black crystal base and white variety of quartz spears on the sides. It's just an aesthetically really spectacular piece.
One of the most aesthetic pieces I've ever seen.
Yeah, Fred says it's the most aesthetic piece he's ever seen.
And it was in the Carnegie Museum.
Yeah, this was on long-term loan to the Carnegie in Pittsburgh, and most folks thought the museum owned it until the real owner asked for it back, and we ended up being at the right place at the right time, said, I want it, and they managed to get it. It is a fabulous piece, so that's we're pleased to have it. And there's a variety of other examples here, and some mixtures of a little bit of pyrite and fluorite, and this is a red, white, and blue crystal or piece where you have calcite, which is unusual for the mine, mixed with blue-violet fluorites and obviously the red rhodochrosites. You want to talk about this one?
Sure. In the center here is a piece that had belonged to Bruce Orrick, and I had really fallen in love with it when it became available. Just gorgeous, huge crystals of pyromorphite from Idaho. Really beautiful. And speaking of Idaho, we have one of the best, or has been said to be the best, Idaho aquamarine barrel.
It may also be the best aquamarine found in North America. It's a matter of debate relative to a few of the recent Mount Antero finds.
In the back, we also have a, oh, my brain is going dead today.
Molybdenite?
Molybdenite, thank you. That was in the Andrew Carnegie collection. They discovered that he had a home up in New York, upper state New York, where he was a summer home, and had been taken care of by a crew of people for many, many years. And when they went in, they discovered he had a whole couple of cabinets full of minerals, and this was in the center of one of his mineral collections. So it's kind of once again the provenance is very important. Back here on the left is a wonderful pyrolusite that a friend of ours on Mindat goes by the name Digger, had gotten out of I guess New Mexico or Arizona. I can't quite remember. New Mexico.
Really diverse like that.
That is. That's
Yeah.
that in fact is next Marty's Zen piece.
Is it?
Yeah, that was Marty's. After he finally had a chance to see the exhibit here yesterday. I was teasing him about did he count how many of his X pieces were in here?
And he did.
He was counting, and he lost track at 50. I think there's at least 100 pieces here that were X Marty's or his mother's, one or the other. This is an interesting case we call the states of the Rockies from north to south. There's an interesting ludlamite in the back here also from I think that's Idaho as well, Montana or Idaho. I've forgotten all of a sudden.
I think it's hard to read. That's
Idaho, yeah. And also a wonderful Vivianite from the same locality, the Blackbird Mine, right in front of it. That's just a spectacular piece. It's a violet as much as it is green.
And let's not forget.
And the Veseliite from the Black Pine Mine. This is if you, I don't know if you can see the glow of the blue.
That is just
the color of that
beautiful.
is spectacular. And this Veseliite, it's a series of pronged, if you will, crystals as opposed to one solid crystal, and it throws a lot more light than might typically be the case. And those who can, if you can find these at all, they tend to be very tiny pieces.
And I'd like to mention that my friend Jessica Simonoff also is now the proud owner of Veseliite due to my influence, and she's standing over there.
Just briefly on some of these wolfenites, this is a red cloud floater. There's no contact. This cluster of brilliant red-orange wolfenite crystals has some interesting, almost spherical acicular mimetites on the back side of it. So it's always a debate as to which side you put forward. It's a fabulous piece in every direction. And this old Yuma wolfenite was actually the center point of the old Yuma case in the American Treasures exhibition that was done a year and a half ago in Tucson. So I put the label in with that. That was a spectacular piece as well. This next case we call the old azurite and cuprite, and where we have a mix of some pieces from Bisbee in Arizona, as well as Chessy, France, where azurite was first found as the type locality. This very large plate in the back was owned by the original developer and owner of the Copper Queen mine that really launched Bisbee as a commercial copper mining town. Came out of the ground, we believe, around 1880 or shortly thereafter, which is the year that mine first began commercial production. It was owned by Benjamin Williamson was his name. We recently acquired this from Evan Jones, who had acquired it indirectly from the Williamson family collection. It had been in crates for decades and was sold uncrated. They were sold by the ton, and there were several plates like this in those crates. What a find! And the green spots on there from a distance are each individual octahedral cuprites that have pseudomorphed to malachite. Therefore, my azurite and cuprite labeling. And they're front and back. This piece was a breccia plate that stood on end. The only contact is the very bottom edge. So both sides are covered with mineralization, and these cuprites in particular are all around. There's no surface that does not have them. There's a smaller example of what turns out to be, I'm pretty sure, from the same find, because it's got exactly all the associated minerals, including some malachite pseudomorphing the cuprite, which is almost never seen. I've been talking to some of the scientists about that, and they're dying to study these pieces as a result of that. Some lustrous old Bisbee pieces here, a couple of azurite floaters from the Bisbee mine, and briefly I talked about Chessy. This piece came from the Gustav Rose collection, and the label we have with it was 1840. Azurite was found here in 1838. He was a world-famous German mineralogist at the time, so there's a reasonable chance that this piece, in fact, was part of the type locality, type the first pocket that they found, where one half is azurite and it's still lustrous as I'll get out today, and the other half is malachite after azurite beside it. So it's an interesting two-tone piece. And these sceptered or hoppered cooperites are both from Jesse as well here.